All right, everybody. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Still not really a happy Tuesday. Although, really, I think that a lot of Seahawks fans feel happier about the Gray Zabel news than they feel bad about that loss on Sunday. So maybe it is a happy Tuesday. I don't know. But you guys know what we do on Tuesday. Youth Watch Tuesday is up. We'll do the PFF defense video a little bit later. Decided to save it for Tuesday this week because we had a bunch of stuff to talk about yesterday that wasn't typical. But yeah, so going to take a look at how the young players on this team are doing, the guys on rookie deals or the rough equivalent of one. You guys know the drill. And once again, Jalen Milroe, inactive, did not get on the field. So we don't have to talk about anything there. So that's nice. We get to just skip the quarterback part and move on to the running backs. All right, guys, let's take a minute so I can tell you about Sleeper, a one stop shop for all your sports needs. You can celebrate and chat on sports games in real time with other users. You can get the fastest scores, blazing fast sports news and sports alerts right at your fingertips. And of course, you can use Sleeper to play in fantasy leagues and win real money on picks contests. This is the way sports were meant to be enjoyed together. So download Sleeper today. Use promo code SBN to get up to a $100 match on your first deposit. And you can pair that with another promo they have right now where you can get a $20 entry free with no deposit required. So get both of those things going. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states and growing. So check out Sleeper today, get to it, and go have some fun with sports this year. Okay, so the good news is Ken Walker had one of his best games of the year, scored a touchdown, had well over 100 yards. Um, there's been a lot of talk about the Walker Charbonnet stuff over the last couple of days. I think McDonald even talked about it a little bit in his press conference about how Walker has clearly shown that he's the better player with the ball in his hands, and we need to start really kind of leaning into that because we're getting down to the second half of the year now. And I mean, the numbers kind of speak for themselves. Charbonnet is, I'm not saying he doesn't have value. He definitely has value, but he is one of the least effective players per touch in the league right now. And Walker is not amazing in that regard, but he's much better. Also, I think according to Pro Football Focus, well, not according, but Pro Football Focus has Ken Walker as the highest graded running back. I believe 86.4 is higher than any other running back. That might have changed since I saw the data, but I believe he's number one right now. Again, not to say Charbonnet's all bad, and not to say this is all his fault. I don't think that it is, but Charbonnet clearly just not really having a very good year with the ball in his hands. There's just not much there. Kalani got a couple carries in this game as well. Not much to say. Robbie Oots continues to get punished by PFF, and I did notice a couple bad plays he had in this game. I'm not here to drill him, but you're seeing the rookie stuff from him for sure. So not great, but not surprising either. He is kind of playing a new position. JSN. I don't know what else to say other than that. Another 100-yard game, another great game. PFF grade went up again. I think he's still the highest graded receiver in football. I still think he's the most productive receiver in football. Almost 1,200 yards from scrimmage. I mean, we're watching something really special here. Still on pace to break Megatron's record. So get your catches in on Sunday in the first quarter because hopefully that game's over quickly. That game, very good chance it's over quickly. So get your numbers while you can. Horton didn't play. Bobo didn't play. Barner, one of his most productive games of his career, 10 catches, 70 yards. A couple of barnyard plays, only one of them worked, but he's doing his thing, man. He's emerging as one of the better tight ends in football. I was pretty optimistic about him this year, but I never thought he'd be on pace to have, 60 catches. Now, part of the reason why he's on pace to have about 60 catches this year is because Elijah Arroyo's been a non-factor. And on a game where Sam Darnold dropped back to pass 46 times and we ran 84 offensive plays, Elijah Arroyo did not get a single catch, and I think he was targeted on 2 interceptions. Yeah, we are in a pretty low place with Elijah Arroyo, and I understand he's a rookie. I understand we got to give this some time. His production is probably going to end up being fairly similar to Barner's as a rookie last year, but this is not what we signed up for. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just not. Like, I don't need to be spending a second round pick on a guy that's going to come in and give this little in the way of production, especially when you look at some of the other gaps on this team that could have been addressed with that pick. It gets more annoying with each week that goes by. Just got to be real about it. I didn't like the pick at the time, and it's just, I cannot say it is helping us win. I could get 85, 90% of what Arroyo has given us so far this year from Jacob Hollister off the couch. Offensive line, still pretty good overall. I mean, Charles Cross allowed a season high in pressures, but graded pretty well. Still graded respectably. Still a pretty high grade. 76 overall. Gray Zabel obviously got hurt at the end of the game. PFF still hates him, but a couple pressures. Nothing too bad. Still having a nice rookie year. Still like what I see. Still don't know what PFF sees, by the way. I got no comment there. Sundell didn't play. Bradford, not a good game from him. His grades fell back down. Actually not one of his worst games of the year, which is sad. But penalty, had a couple pressures allowed. Just bad. Actually, I think it was only one pressure allowed, but it was a quarterback hit. And Oluwatimi, couple pressures allowed, graded poorly. Not the guy. I think that in a different universe where we don't fall behind 14-3 early in that game, Oluwatimi would have been okay because we would have been able to run the ball more. And running, I think run blocking is probably more of Oluwatimi's strength. But we fell behind early. We had to pass a little bit more. That doesn't really play to Oluwatimi's strengths as a player, I don't think. So, tough sledding. Okay, that's the offense. Let's jump on over to the defense now. Murphy picked up a couple of tackles, including a very nice tackle for loss, but he got punished by the PFF grading. And it seemed like there were a lot of plays that he should have been able to make, but he just didn't. And I think on some of these plays, one second, you're seeing some length issues on his part. He can't shed the blockers as effectively as he needs to. And I believe that's the holdup here with some of his abilities to effectively get off blocks and make tackles in the run game. There were a few plays where it seemed like there was an opportunity for him and it just didn't happen. I don't think he played as poorly as PFF thinks. I think that some of the grade is because he's playing out of position, but still not necessarily the best. And Mike Morris only played on special teams. He did have a special teams tackle, but not much to say. Same with Tyrese Knight. He picked up a special teams tackle on which he got a concussion, so he's probably going to miss a game, maybe 2. Drake Thomas, not one of his best games. 2 tackles, a lot of missed tackles. Play action has him on a yo-yo, it feels like. PFF grade wasn't bad. I don't think he played terrible, but this was a game where you kind of noticed the shortcomings in Drake Thomas, and I still like what he's doing overall, still better than I would have expected, but there are going to be issues. Edge rusher, both of these guys didn't play that much, which partially was because the defense didn't play very many snaps, but it also highlights how this team has found more success with Nwosu and D-Law out there, and they're rolling with that. I think both guys picked up 1 tackle. Mafe had a very nice run tackle for a loss, and both guys had really good PFF grades, but their impact on this game felt relatively minimal. So, not really earning that extension after this season, unfortunately, for either guy right now. I still like both guys, but neither guy is looking like an emerging star. They're both looking like quality players that you like to have around, and that's about it. Cornerback, Reek Woolen, there were some issues with his run defense and tackling here, but coverage was mostly fine. couple of tackles, picked up a pass deflection. PFF grade fell a little bit, but still doing loads better than he did at the start of the year. Witherspoon, I think 4 tackles, still doing his job, still doing good stuff. I think that one thing to keep in mind here is the ability of a player like Devin Witherspoon to do what he does is a big reason why this team was able to hold up against the run while staying in nickel and dime against jumbo packages from the Rams. So that's not something you're going to see reflected in Witherspoon's box score, but it is very important to this team right now. PFF grade for Witherspoon still excellent, by the way, 78.4. Pritchett didn't play on defense. Kobe Bryant had another pretty good game. He's really coming along lately. 5 tackles. Liked some of the stuff he did coming up as a tackler as well. He had the peanut punch. PFF grade holding around a 69.2. Did he have a pass breakup in this game? No. Okay, so they didn't give him one of those, but I like what Kobe's doing. Starting, I didn't think there was any way I would be advocating for a Kobe Bryant extension this offseason, but we're getting there. Because having him is really allowing somebody like Eamon Warry to play closer to the line of scrimmage. And speaking of which, another good game for Eamon Warry, picked up a few tackles, pass breakup, was part of a defense that played great. PFF grade went up a little bit. He's doing it. He's doing it. He's not going to be perfect right now. He's a 21-year-old rookie, but he is so fun, and there is so much cool stuff that happens with him out there. I love it. So happy with all that. And look, we're still getting good contributions out of these young players. We're still getting good play out of guys on rookie deals. So cool stuff happening. I'll be seeing you guys later. A couple of hours, I'm going to do the Pro Football Focus video. And reminder, I am appearing on that podcast later today. See you guys later. Go Hawks.